Good evening. Good evening, friends. Kindly switch off your mic so that we can start our training session on terminal inspection of finished goods in pharma industry. So, this is very one of the important topic which being used in industry for day routine activity by the quality assurance department. So, it is required to have some glimpse about the procedure followed in the plant. So QA is mainly responsible for the terminal inspection of the finished goods in pharma industry. So in this training session we will have an agenda on the terminal inspection basically. So we will discuss here about the definition and significance of the terminal inspection. Then we go through the procedure for the terminal inspection and classification of defects, acceptance criteria and acceptance quality level AQL. And finally we will discuss about the parameters are required to be checked or values to be observed and records to be maintained in the terminal inspection report. So let's first of all discuss about the definition and the significance of the terminal inspection. So as the word terminal inspection implies, as the name indicates, that inspection which is performed at the end of any activity or final control of the quality department to assess the quality of product before it is marketed. So it is not only the concern with the quality assurance department, it is the quality department. Quality department is basically a club of the quality control as well as the quality assurance. So the ultimately the quality department, not only the QC also is responsible for all such terminal inspection, because you are required to have all the reports in place when you are going to release the product, and before releasing of the product, this terminal inspection being performed in the on the site or warehouse, site warehouse. So any physical observation related to the defect of the packed unit is categorized as the critical, major or minor, and all cosmeceutical defects are categorized as minor defects, which while those defects which are risk to the patient safety or violation of the statutory laws are categorized as critical or major defect. We will discuss in detail what are the critical, major and the minor defects in the terminal inspection we observed by the terminal inspector. So quality personnel responsible for the release of the finished goods to market is required to perform a pre-dispatch inspection, PDI, which in another word termed as the terminal inspection. It gives an idea and confidence to the practices which are followed for the manufacturing and packing of the product, that no any negative market feedback expected to receive, and to maintain the zero defect supply to the medicine to the market. So ultimately the objective and the goal of this terminal inspection is to ensure that only the good quality material should be supplied to the market, and there should be zero defect in the supply that we produce. Then now we will discuss about the procedure for the terminal inspection, the general practices we follow for the terminal inspection in pharma plant. Terminal inspection should be followed for the inspection of the finished goods at the end of the completion of the batch packing activity, and it is to identify that the product is free from defects. So there is sometimes some confusion is there in the terminal inspection definition. So terminal inspection, some people says that when there is an online packing, so you continuously do some terminal inspection. So in whenever we use the terminology terminal inspection, terminal means the activity is almost complete, and that is we are going to finally assess the quality of one lot. So you are having some definite quantity of the batch that you are going to assess for the terminal inspection. So it is required to have a clear cut, the batch should be completed for the terminal inspection. For the online, whenever there is on the packing conveyor, when the shippers being packed with this, so this is called the online inspection basically. So it is not a terminal inspection. Terminal inspection means the material from the shop floor being transferred to the quarantine area, and now it is in custody of the quality assurance or the quality department. They are going to have a separate inspection, and the in-process quality assurance team and the terminal inspection team are separate. So terminal inspection team have the separate and direct reporting to the head QA, or any defect or any observation related to the product or in a batch is directly being reported to the head quality assurance or head quality. So in process, quality assurance person are only required to have their control on the shop floor when till the material being kept over shop floor. So after receiving an intimation from the production, the executive officer or executive office QA should verify the transfer note in respect of the product name, strength, product code, batch number, batch size, manufacturing date, expiry date, etc. and check the batch packing record and ensure that it is completed in all respect till the respective shift or completion of the batch. So QA officer or executive should perform the finished product inspection by taking sufficient number of the samples from the random selected shippers on the basis of the number of the shippers to be opened using the root n+1 criteria, where n is the number of the samples quantity to be examined. In few of the industries there is a root n+1 criteria, and there is some industries are there where we have the shipper checking policy. So that depends upon, because they are going to refer the AQL criteria, acceptance quality level criteria. So in few of the industries there is a root n+1 criteria. So we will discuss later on this slide what are the AQL. So the sample quantity and the number of the defects identified during the finished product inspection activity should determine the acceptance or the further inspection of the finished product being processed. So any type of the defects which is identified during the terminal inspection must be properly investigated, and it must be came into the knowledge of the head quality assurance or head quality just to take proper CAPA. And if the observation of the terminal inspection found to be complying with the specification, then the officer or executive should sign the finished goods transfer slip, and then it is allowed to the transfer to the bonded stock room BSR. Then after first 100% inspection of the batch or lot, collect the sample as per the sampling plan and acceptance criteria for the tightening inspection and perform the inspection on the same. Then again we require to have the second and 100% inspection of the batch, lot or collect the sample as per the sampling plan and acceptance criteria for tighten inspection and re-perform the inspection. So this is basically one of the requirement, just to have, if any of the unit is found defective, then it is to be properly checked, and root cause of this defective unit must be identified. So if the number of the unacceptable unit found in the sample is equal or exceed the rejection criteria, then QA executive should record the same and should tick the rejected in results column. Then deviation should be raised and batch should be segregated for the final disposition by the authorized person. So once if it is not complying to the standards, it is not as per the requirement, it is not following the quality standards, so the quality assurance person will put a comment and put a tick mark in the rejection in the result column as a rejection, and ask for the deviation, fill the deviation and send to the concerned person who is responsible for the final disposition of the batch. So each batch or lot should be met with the acceptance criteria as per the sampling plan for the normal inspection. So there are different critical quality control level and critical control level CL1, CL2 in different industries being followed as per the AQL requirement. So these all norms to be fulfilled for the terminal inspection point of view. So if normal inspection fails, then each batch or lot should meet the acceptance criteria for the tightened inspection. So it is required to have the second term inspection which should be more tightened than the previous one. So every time you are going to have, whenever you find initially you find some any non-conformance or discrepancy in the lot, then you require to have again 100% inspection with the deviation or the non-conformance raised to the production or production department. So while selecting the FG packed shipper for the terminal inspection, QA officer or executive required to select the shipper which were packed after any intervention of the packing activity. That is, one shipper pre and one shipper post of each interventions like tea break, lunch break, shift change or any other breakdown should be included in the quantity of the shipper selected for the terminal inspection. This is one of the important requirement for from the total pack stock of the record of some of the same should be mentioned in the shipper weighing record of the BPR intervention should be marked as LB for the lunch break or TB for the T brake or BD for the breakdown or shift change. These are the terminology which are required to be followed in the terminal inspection while we are performing. So any of the intervention, you must getting the information of the intervention from the batch packing record, that after the shift change what the IPQ as well as the production person mark those shippers which are subject to the interventions. मीन्स कि जो बैच आपके पहले लंच से पहले और लंच के बाद जो शिपर आपका पैक हुआ है वो उसको वहां पे बैच पैकिंग रिकॉर्ड के अंदर एस्टेरिस्क मार्क करके लिख देते हैं. तो दीज शिपर्स रिक्वायर्ड टू बी हैव properly and thoroughly checked for the any of the quality defect. Then open the selected shipper one by one and check the defects and record the defects observed on the given parameters in terminal inspection report. And if the defects warrants threat to the visual or intrinsic quality of the product, then put the batch under hold and inform the packing supervisor and in charge production for the corrective action. Verify the corrective action taken by the checking number of the boxes root n plus 1 of the reworked or finishing pack and prepare the report. Sign the transfer ticket if found satisfactory, and if the batch is released on the basis of the compliance of the any of the non-conformance observed so far. So if pack stock is found in compliance as per the BPR and specification, then put the below stamp and sign on the shipper containing the following information. This shipper being QA verified, name of the inspector and with the sign and date. So it is required to be placed over there. So now we will have a discussion about the classification of defect. So this one is the list of the possible defects for the type of classification. First of all, we will discuss about the critical defects. So it is the common for the injection and for the tablets, then the solids, oral solids and the oral liquids. So these are the common critical defects we have listed here. Then we will bifurcate them as per the dosage wise. So critical defects: high objectionable extraneous matter, for example blood or highly toxic material being packed with the medicine. So it is highly objectionable extraneous matter we claim. So it is under the critical defect. Then glass fragments in the product more than the intended intact tablets, capsule or liquid per unit. Then the missing of the eligible printed information on the blister, non-uniform color, sticking tablet with the eligible or the missing embossing, foreign odor, excess surface powder, crack or porous surface, presence of the foreign matter, capping, lamination, broken tablet, cracks or fragments, embedded surface spots of contamination, product sterility, bioburden risk, incorrect labeling, incorrect product, etc. and the foreign or wrong product on pack. These all are the example of the critical defects. In for major defects, we go for the, if consider for the core tablet, then the incorrect labeling, incorrect coding detail on the product labeling, gross foreign matter such as metal particles or glass, fading or the change of the color at a time of the release, incorrect size, incorrect shape, incorrect color, product mix up, incorrect product, or coated tablet, projected edges, then the poor embossing, then the chips and the picking or the adhering surface spots. These are the general defects we observed during the terminal inspection. Then come to the another one, the core tablet not fully coated. There is partial part of is uncoated. Coating not uniform in color. Molted में से mottled is there. Then the broken tablet, then the cracks of the porous surface, embedded surface spots or contamination, capping, foreign particle contamination, film peeling off, foreign odor, illegible embossing, then coating eruptions, clusters formation on the tablet. So these are the major defects. Then minor adhering surface spots, picking or the surface not smooth, surface blemishes or the pits or pimples are there and the chips. But these minor defects are only for the one or two tablets. As a whole lot, we cannot consider it as a minor defect. If it is a number of the such type of the defects is more, then it comes to the major and the critical, and it definitely signifies and it may have harm to the quality of the product. So now we discuss about the classification of the defects for the filled capsules. So empty capsules, stiffness, cracks, breaks, pinholes, splits, where leakage of the content may occur, body and or cap of the capsule not as the specified, non-uniform in colors, embedded surface spots of the contamination, any foreign matter, then double shell, loose closure, oversized, bad joining, and then bubbles, wrinkles, illegible imprint, short capsules. Then in minor, pits and dents, capsule not free from the specks and spots, capsule not free from the cap, body cutting into the one another, surface not smooth, adhering surface spots, capsule not free of the powder, then poor print, ink marks. In packaging, major defects are there: incorrect count, improper sealing of the HDP containers, illegible coding of the batch details, undesired marks, hair or spots appearing on the primary container on the outside and the inside of the surface. Then minor defects: adhering surface spots on closures, containers, loose, slanted or crimped or extended label, absence of the cotton or desiccant in a container. These are the minor defects. Then we will discuss about the acceptance criteria or acceptance quality level. Here is the list of the defects, and then there is the definition, and then the acceptance quality level. So in we have the defects class: control level 1, then critical, then major, then minor, and cosmetic. So this is the defect class generally being followed all over the in pharma industry. For control level 1, the control level 1 as applied to the finished product inspection, a most critical characteristics usually related to the safety, where non-conformities should not be tolerated. Example: product sterility risk, incorrect labeling, incorrect product, etc. In critical, a non-conformity that is likely to be present as a hazard to the health. So for this, the acceptance quality level is 0.1%. For major, a non-conformity which should cause the product to be built in for use, significant degrades of the product functions, the performance is likely to be generate a complaint. These are the 0.4%. For minor, a non-conformity which should cause a product to be unfit for use or significantly degrades the product's functions or performance, or is very likely to generate a complaint, that is 1%. And for the cosmetic, a non-conformity detrimental to the high quality image of a product that should not affect the usability of the or the functionality of the product and affects the only appearance of the product, that is maximum 2.5%. So now we will have the defect category, then the defect description, and the defect classification. So for different defect category, we have the separate description and what the classification, either CL1 critical control level 1, or the critical, or the major, or the minor, or the cosmetic. These are defined here. So wrong product, foreign wrong product on the pack, this is the CL1. Extraneous matter we will discuss about if it is concerned with the, as I discussed earlier, highly objectionable or extraneous matter, example blood or highly toxic metal being packed with the medicine or found adulterated with that, then it is the control level CL1. There should be 0.00% defect acceptance quality level is there. So glass fragments is also critical control, and the control level 1 CL1. Metal fragments, that is critical. Extraneous matter not related to the process material, that is critical. Process related material, that is major. Then we come to the printing, embossing, coating defect, rough surface, streaking, thick or thin tablet, and the heat marks. These all are the examples of the defect category and required to be have the defect description and further classified under the defect classification as a control level 1 or the critical or major or minor. Same way we continue for the blister product defects, wrong products, then the extraneous matter, fill quantity, print defects, and the blister package defect and other cosmetic. These are for the blister product defects. Then we come to the injectable products. Same way, the wrong product, extraneous matter, fill quantity, missing component, seal defect, vial or ampoule defects. So these are for example, wrong product. If the foreign wrong product being packed, then is CL1. Then the highly objectionable, as discussed earlier, CL1, and if any foreign matter is there, hair or gasket or glass or anything, then it is critical. Then the fill quantity, short filled or empty, then it is major. Missing component, major. Loose or cracked or improper seal, that is major. Dented, deformed or dirty vial or ampoule, cosmetic. Cracked or anything cracked or chipped. Sorry. Good evening.